Alright, welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. Listen carefully. This is video number 16. I believe in the last video, which is number 15, I wrote number 15 in the title, but in the comments when I was talking, I might have said 14, but that was 15. This is video number 16 pertaining to the Klansman One Don Gang trial that is taking place in Jamaica, which no doubt is shaping up to probably be the longest running trial in Jamaica's judicial history. Why? Because there are 44 witnesses, and the prosecution has said that they will cross-examine every one of them before this is all said and done. They've only gotten to about 4 witnesses so far, so they have 40 to go, and we are going on the holiday breaks, December to January, Christmas, New Year's, and then that trial will start again sometime after that break, and it will continue, I am pretty sure. Anyways, I will have you know before I even get into this article that the people who are testifying in this case, we all know now that they were ex-gang members. Well, the other two, the first two, we all know they are ex-gang members because they have professed to be a Don and a henchman, an ex-gang member, right? Now we know that none of them are charged with anything. They won't be charged with anything, not because they don't have anything on them. Listen, not because they don't have anything on them, but because they just won't charge them in exchange for their testimonies. So, shout out to the Jamaica Observer. Chief Justice Brian Sykes, the sitting judge in the trial involving the 33 alleged members of the St. Catherine-based Klansman gang, on Friday queried whether the police had taken a policy decision to not charge the self-confessed ex-gang members turned state witnesses despite their own horrific crimes that they have admitted to. Well, one of them anyways. The Chief Justice posing the question to the lead investigator, who has been on the witness stand since last Wednesday in the trial, which has been unfolding in the Home Circuit Court in downtown Kingston, underlined the concern by pointing to what he said could be a pattern emerging in the gang trials conducted so far. What is the pattern, you ask? According to Sykes, this is the judge, in other jurisdictions in similar cases, such witnesses would be before the court in the context of a plea bargain or even a previous conviction. No guilty plea, nothing, so he doesn't just come in and is just free as a bird. No consequences. Don't lose a night's sleep. This is not my words, people who are listening. This is the judge words I'm reading to you. I'll go over his words one more time. The judge is asking, why are they not being charged with anything? Because usually in other jurisdictions, in similar cases, these guys would have charges against them as well. They would be bargaining for lesser time or something like that. But these guys have no charges against them, not because they don't have anything to put on them, but because they simply have not charged them, even after they have admitted to how many different crimes. No guilty plea, nothing so he just come in and is free as a bird. No consequences, don't lose a night's sleep. This is what the judge said. That's why I'm asking you these things. Nothing to hold his feet to the fire. Nothing hanging over his head, asked the Chief Justice, who had earlier noted that his questions were not an academic exercise, but were important in order for him to be able to assess the quality and the worth of the evidence. You hear that? Remember I told y'all before, I said that they're going to question their credibility. So us outside looking in are like, yes, I believe everything what them I say. In a judge's position and in a court of law, they can't just put anybody in there and say, tell a story. And everybody in there is like, yes, I believe everything what them I say. Whatever they're saying, is going to be weighed. The judge said, why I ask that this is actually the third gang trial I am doing, and I have never seen any of them charged. You heard that? This is the third gang trial he's doing, and he has never seen any of them charged. So, and again, he said they just come in here, they're just free to do as they please, no guilty plea, no nothing. So he doesn't just come in and he's just free as a bird, no consequences, don't lose a night's sleep, nothing to hold his feet to the fire, nothing. And he said, why I'm asking is because this is actually the third gang trial that I'm doing, and I have never seen any of them charged. So this looking kind of funny. So I am asking if it is a policy decision that those who provided this information, they will never be charged, regardless of the crimes they have committed, regardless of whatever levels of atrocity they have engaged in. I am beginning to wonder now, is this a policy decision? The Chief Justice Judge asked. The detective, in responding to the judge, said, this is what the detective said. The detective, in responding to the judge, said, while he could not speak to the other trial to which the judge referred to, the police in this matter had taken the decision not to charge the witnesses, number one, in relation to the 2018 gang investigation, out of which the current crop of accused were arrested, because they believed doing so would drive the witnesses away. So, like I said before to the people, that these guys have motives as well. It's not me saying free gunman. It's not me wanting crime to continue, like some people have left in the comment section. It's not me defending criminals. It is me telling you how the system is working with this case. Seeing? So we all have a clear understanding. Because remember, I know, there are no cameras in there. None of us can get to see this thing unfold firsthand. And no one is coming out to explain and break down on a daily basis, okay, what was said today in testimony as it relates to the case, etc. So we have to just take the pieces of information as they go. But I'm telling you that it's going to be weighed and vetted. And the judge is now saying this is the third gang trial that he's tried. And he's wondering if this is a policy decision. Like police actually made this into policy to not charge these guys for their testimonies. Alright. The police responded on behalf of, and said, well, the police believe that if they had laid charges against them, they wouldn't get no information. The guys would be scared. They would scare them off. I am beginning to wonder now if this is a policy decision. Alright, the detective said they would scare them off. The gang legislation is so structured where for us to be able to collect a statement treating with incidents as it relates to the activities of a gang, the best method would be for a person from the gang to come and say these things. In respect to this witness though, I'm having interviewed him, I did not go the route of caution statement and charging. This is what they said. The route I took, Milford, was the one I think was the best. I thought that if we went the route of charging him at the time, he might not be cooperative. And in addition to that, there are several other investigations that are still ongoing. The detective told the court. He further emphasized that the murders allegedly committed by the accused gang members were still under investigation as well. Justice Sykes was, however, dogged in his quest for a definitive answer. He said, I have heard this explanation before. Those investigations are ongoing, and 3 years now, and I don't see them come back yet. This is the judge, you know. The judge said them investigation here ongoing 3 years now, and all now I don't see them come back yet. So I'm trying to test now if this explanation that is put forward is a stock answer as well. So it's policy that you don't charge them, and you have this stock answer that you just throw out every time this question is asked. That's what the judge said. On Friday, the detective, in admitting under further questioning from the Chief Justice Judge that the witness had not been questioned under caution, said that while the police might not have got that aspect of the investigation right, it did get some other aspects of the investigation right. Wanna follow where this I go? On Thursday, the detective, responding to similar queries from the attorney as to why the witnesses had not been charged, given that he openly admitted to taking part in the gang's criminal activities, said, this is what he said. He said, Mr. Blank, they left the name out, Mr. Man, having come into the police and given information, we checked, and the St. Catherine North Police Division, Mr. Man did not appear as a suspect in any of the police formations, and so he was not a suspect in any matter at that particular time. To the attorneys insistent of, but he told you of the things that he did though. He admitted to them. The detective then said, there are other investigations that are taking place, sir. Meaning, the things that he admitted to, they are investigating them now. If it leads to an arrest or further arrest, I can say what I did was a gang investigation and it ended with a number of persons being charged. Now, nudged further by the Chief Justice regarding the witness not being charged despite having given his soul, he repeated, after he checked St. Catherine North, he did not appear as a suspect in any matters, sir. Our investigations culminated in the preparation of a case file, and it was submitted to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution for a ruling. We acted on a ruling. Friday, the lead sleuth said no promises had been made to witness number one that he would never be charged because he was needed as a witness, or that he would not be charged in relation to the ongoing investigations. He said it was a possibility that the witness could be charged in the other matters that they are investigating if his name comes up in any of those. But here's the funny thing. He's admitting to everything. So how are they going to charge him if they didn't charge him right then when he was admitting? He said it was the possibility that this witness could still be charged in other matters. Now, asked by the judge if the witness had been told this, they answered no. Rotted. So this witness is under the impression that he will not be charged as long as he spills his soul and tells everything. So he is spilling his soul and he is telling everything. But they have other investigations that are going on. And the judge is asking, did y'all tell him that he could be charged if he comes up in anything else that you're investigating pertaining to this? And they said no. I wonder if he know this. Because I wonder if he knows this. Anyways, witness number two, also a former gang member turned state witness, who was the first civilian witness to take the stand in the trial when it began in September, had been arrested and charged in relation to the gang investigation. Those charges had, however, been dropped, so he could testify. In mid-November, Lyndon Wellesley, attorney for Fabian Johnson, whose alias is Crocs, and Ted Prince, who is known as Maga Man. This is their attorney. Their attorney accused witness number one of lying about having no previous convictions. According to the attorney, he had information that showed that the witness had been brought before the Supreme Court in 2012 with two other individuals to answer charges of illegal possession of firearm and assault. I have no knowledge of that. The witness, who said that he had never been charged for anything in his life, replied, I have no knowledge of that. The lawyer pull up paperwork, and say, You were charged in 2012 in court, brother. How come you say you never been charged for nothing before? You don't have no criminal record, them never have nothing on you. You just went and volunteered information. But you were brought before the Supreme Court in 2012 with 2 other people to answer to charges of illegal possession of firearm and assault. I wonder if they told the witness also that they would scrub his records so this couldn't show up. The man said, I have no knowledge of that. Him don't remember being in court in 2012 to face gun charges and possession of firearm and assault charges. Now, according to the witness, who said that he was forced to join the gang in 2016, he had never been a person of interest. That's according to him. And he was not on no police radar at the time he decided to approach them with the information about the criminal organizations, even though he was eventually anointed as a Don in charge of the Lauriston community in the parish. He later on went on to say that he did come forward with information because he did hear about some investigation that was going on and charges that were coming down the pipeline, so he wanted to make sure that him never wrap up in the charges. The Crown is opening its case, had indicated that it would be calling 42 witnesses, including 2 former members of the gang turned state witnesses. They, however, said that they would be leaning heavily on the evidence of witness number 1, a self-professed top-tier member who began working with the police in 2018 to bring down the gang. The trial resumes at 10 a.m. in the morning with continued cross-examination from the detectives. And that is where we are with this one right now. This is video number 16. Man, leave your comments in the comment section below, and I'll meet everybody down there to try to answer as many comments as I can. Here's my question. Do you think that these judges are doing a good job now at poking holes in the credibility of witness number 1 and 2? Because that is the work that is laid out for their defense lawyers, you know. If the defense lawyers right now can poke some holes in the credibility of witness number 1 and 2, especially since the prosecution is saying they are going to be leaning heavily on the testimony of witness number 1, if the defense could discredit him in any way, that would be a big piece of stumbling block out of the way on the defense end. Do you think that they're doing a good job at doing so, or do you think that the thing still sounds credible all the way? Interesting. What do you feel about them not having any charges against them at all, even after admitting to all the things they have been involved in? Should they have any charges, or should they free them in exchange for capturing all the others? And also, at this point, are you still thinking that everything they're saying is credible, or are you looking at it as they might be adding some lies in there because they're really working hard to try to make sure that they themselves walk free, even if it means selling out the members of their gang and giving information to get them incarcerated? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let's talk this out. Catch you on the next video as well. It's SouFLoTV. I'm out. Hit that subscribe button. Peace.